thank you for joining me today, Nick. I really appreciate you taking the time to
No
speak with me.
worries, no
That
worries.
really means a lot. And obviously, a lot of people will know you from Star Wars. You were there at the inception of what is now a huge part of pop culture. It's a phenomenon, and it's irreversibly changed cinema. And it's just such a huge part of so many people's lives, like mine. And you played the medal bearer. You handed over the medals
Yes.
following the Battle of Yavin at the celebration after the Rebel Alliance blew up the first Death Star. So what I wanna know is, what was it like at the creation, at the inception of what was at the time just known as Star Wars?
Well, really, it was just another job. Agent phones and says, you've got a couple of days spare. There's a job called Star Wars. Would you be interested? So I said, well, got a couple of days, as you say. So yeah,
Yeah.
why not? So I went to London to see if I was available or not available, if I was the sort of person they wanted.
Yeah.
And I think it was Mayfair I had to go to into some disused shop.
Okay.
And we got there, and there was three guys there. I didn't know who they were. Turns
Yeah.
out to be George Lucas and all these guys.
Wow.
And they said, what have you been doing? So I said, well, there we are. Take a look at my photographs and some of the things that I've done. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll give you a call back if we need you. Anyway, 2 days later, I got the call. My agent said, yeah, you got the job. I said, how much? That's the first thing. Anyway, she said, it won't be much, but it's going to be nice. About £100 a day. Thought, nice. I'll have that. Yes.
I'll do.
So I said, how many days? She said, it's only 2 days. That's all right. So I went and I had to go to costume first.
Right.
I went there and I walked in and they said, oh, I said, what's wrong? She said, you're shorter than we expected. Well, if you like, go out and buy me a grow bag and I'll stand in it all night if you like. But anyway, they found something. It wasn't right because the jacket and the trousers didn't match, but that
Okay.
nobody noticed about that until I said, Anyway, we got the job, got the costume, went on the set, back to makeup, got all that sorted out. And first day of shooting, got everything right, done all this, rehearsal, shooting in the afternoon. And they said, right, I think it was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, we broke and said, right, we need you back tomorrow. I said, yeah, fine. Anyway, we got there the next day, same things happened, straight to makeup, get the costume on, start shooting. And we did part of the first scene. And that's when the doors opened.
Right.
And then the camera, the guys walked down, then the camera was repositioned. The guys walked forward, reposition camera. It happens all the time, right the way
Yeah.
through. And they started to walk up the steps, reposition cameras again, behind, forward, side. Anyway, this happened, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They said, right, we'll break for a cup of tea, coffee. I
Nice.
said, okay. So I just turned round and all of a sudden, Mark Hamill came forward. He went, you going to have your tea? I said, yeah, I'm going there. She said, hang on a sec. And he started smiling. So I said, went to say, what you're smiling. The next thing happened, I had water thrown all over me.
Oh my God.
Turned round, and Carrie Fisher was right behind me with a big grin on her face. Said, I've been wanting to do that all day long. So I said, okay, we'll get back to you. Anyway, so we
No
broke
way.
the tea, had some tea, coffee, whatever, came back. And they said, well, we've got a lot to do today. Can everybody stay? So I said, no problem for me.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys, I can't make it. So we had to break and go on to another day. Anyway, we went on and on and on. In the end, it was 15 days I worked on that. We had a good time. We had a good laugh, and I never did get her back. But every time I went to do something, she knew I was there ready to do
Yeah,
something to her. But no, but we did have a good laugh.
that
But that was one thing. And the next thing is when we did finally make the full scene, when the heroes came up the steps, got halfway, and somebody farted. It was about the biggest fart I've ever heard, because that was the end of it. Cut. Who done that? Nobody owned up. So we couldn't stop laughing. So we
No,
had to do this scene 5 times to get it right.
oh wow.
Yeah, and it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We
Right.
finally got the last scene in the can. But nobody ever owned up to that beautiful fart that somebody did.
I love stories like that.
You know, I
It's
don't know
so
what it is about somebody farting, but it's like when Peter Sellers did that film when they were all
in
in the
Pink
lift.
Panther in the lift.
Nobody did anything. Nobody did a thing. But when somebody looks at you and smiles, you've got the idea what's going on.
It's universal humor, isn't it? Farting.
Oh,
Like,
I couldn't do any more that day.
that is hilarious. It's so nice to hear that it was such a good experience, because it's obviously such a magical movie, and a huge part of my life and so many other people's. Did you have any idea? Was there anything going on in your mind at the time that this film, which was completely unknown at the time, was
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
become such a huge thing?
But the thing about it is, you know what uh, making movies are like, is a more wasting time there is of making the movie, especially if you've got one scene in the morning and one scene at the night.
Yeah.
What you do all day, you just get into mischief.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Still, there you go.
That's brilliant,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What was your first memory of Star Wars outside of actually creating it? Did you see it in the
Well,
cinema?
yeah. Well, I got the invitation to go to London to see the movie, or the special preview.
Yeah.
And I took my daughter. She was only about 4 or 5 at the time, and we sat there and watched it. And she sort of 3/4 of the way through the movie, I looked at her. She's fast asleep. And yeah. Anyway, it comes right to the end of the movie, because now the doors open, the music plays, and she woke up. And
Yeah.
as they got to the end and I came forward, she shouted out, "Look, Dad, there you are." Yeah,
That's
dear,
so
dear. I thought, yeah, okay, as you see, all a
yeah.
bit bigger.
That's absolutely brilliant. And what was it like for you seeing it for the first time? Because you'll be one of the first people that ever saw Star Wars then.
Yeah, it was a film that really didn't sort of do much at the time. And I thought it was good,
Hmm.
but it didn't really click, because
Okay.
there was other films that you've made, which were good. But at the end of the movie, when it all closed down, everybody moved out except us who were down the front area.
Yeah.
And it was only till we went outside that that was it. There was hundreds of people out there cheering, and, shouting and screaming, autographs and everything else.
Oh
That's
wow.
when I thought, gotcha, that's it. We've done a good movie here.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, it was great. Great. And obviously, ever since then, we are just thankful for all you guys who are interested in Star Wars, because really, you are the guys who made us. without all the Star Wars fans, we wouldn't get the Comic Cons we have to go to now.
Mhm.
You know, I
Well,
mean, it's great, really is. I mean, I've got another one to go to at the end of, it's the end of this month, May. Yeah.
nice.
No, it isn't. Sorry, it's the end of June in
Right.
Essex. Down,
Essays.
yes, in Benfleet in
All right.
Essex. Yeah,
Fantastic.
but we shall see with them how they go. But I mean, there's other things. I mean, I've not done a great deal this year,
Mm,
so I've had a lot of work to do with
yeah.
other things. I was supposed to have gone to Hollywood because,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
they've written a book on my character.
Oh, okay.
And if you look on my site, or some of it there, you'll probably find the cover photographs on it there as well.
Hmm.
And the guy who wrote it, he's an American. And what he's done, he wrote this book, as I say, excuse me, I might have it here.
Oh, wow.
Look how thick it is.
Blooming hell.
It's a book that I've tried to read, but it's so deep for me.
Yeah.
It's not one of the books that I would read, but I'm trying to get right through it though. I've
Yeah.
got up to, that's where I've got up to, page 362.
Bloody hell. Like,
And there, let me go through the right pages. There's over 1,000 pages in this.
oh my God.
Yeah. And I mean, some of the pictures they're drawn or somebody's done in this, they're very, very deep.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's called The Trials and Transformation of Arhul Hextrophon.
Wow.
That's where we are at the moment,
Wow.
trying to get through this book.
That's incredible. And
I'm just wondering whether I will ever get through it. When I'm about
yeah,
90, I think I shall be finished with it.
she'll get to the last page.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And like one of the things that I love about Star Wars is that we get so much like extra information about these characters. And at the time you were playing the medal bearer, who's
Mm,
now Major Arhul Hextrophon.
yes.
And he's got so much more of his life filled out in universe. In canon, he co-wrote the official history of rebel movements. He had a school of embedded journalism in universe. What's that like, seeing a character that, you know, as you described it earlier, it was just a job. It's got such
Well,
a
that's
fulfilling
it.
life.
Yeah. See, the thing about this character, he was, as you may know, a historian,
Mhm.
and his best friend was missing in um, Dagobah.
Yes,
Who's the little green guy?
Yoda.
That's him. See, after the war, Yoda goes missing,
Mhm.
and Aho has to go into Dagobah to find him, and he does, but it's a secret.
Yeah, keeps it to himself.
And the other thing is, do you know why Solo got the first medal?
I don't actually know.
No, because what happened was our whole Extraphon got captured by the Zygerian slavers
Oh,
and
okay.
imprisoned on their ship.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and Solo and Chewbacca rescued them. And that's why he got the first medal, because they remained friends after that.
Oh my God. I that's incredible. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is so much that goes on with Extraphon
Yeah.
that people don't know about, but it's all written down in on the internet somewhere. What was it called?
Is it
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, the Star
Yep,
Wars wiki?
Wikipedia. It's all down there, and it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages and words.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just incredible, isn't it?
Mm. Well, this is the thing, isn't it? Because as soon as something takes off like that, um, and characters, especially like the medal bearer, though there's a lot been done about him, he was never shown a great deal.
No.
But it was only people like the fans who've made the character bigger. And boy, am I grateful for that. It's, because you go to a convention, whether it's, say, in America or Australia, um, and the fans have never seen you before, and that's it. You've got hundreds of people waiting. Not only have I got my photographs, I've got the medals.
Mhm.
I've had them all made, and I've also got the character figure as well. And there's lots and lots of little bits and pieces that I send off. I've also got a DVD which was made by the Americans for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that I give away free when somebody buys the medal or the character figure.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
That,
but
that's incredible. And I feel like, for me personally, it's so nice because I've seen you at so many conventions. I go to so many different conventions, and it is
mm,
so nice to see and hear someone who is so passionate about Star Wars
mm,
and giving back
mm,
to the
mm,
fans. It's so nice to hear how grateful you are
mm.
to the fans. And I understand was it Gary Kurtz who actually sent you a letter recognizing you as the medal bearer that led to
That's
your
right.
first
Yes.
convention
Yeah.
appearance?
Yeah.
What was that experience like? What was going through your mind?
Well, it was just I didn't really get into much of Star Wars at the very beginning
Mm.
until Gary Kurtz sent me this letter. And I thought, how the hell did he find me? But well, thankfully he did. That was Empire Day.
Yes.
And because when I got there was absolutely thousands of people there.
Wow.
And I had a bench facing that way, and Gary Kurtz was behind me.
Right.
And he said to me, "How are you getting on?" I said, "My hand is like that." He said, "Don't do that too much, though, will you?" But I mean, that day I just signed so many photographs.
Yeah.
I really did. But I must have, I don't know, over 1,000, maybe 2,000. I don't know.
Wow.
But it was just unbelievable. But I've been very lucky with Star Wars because a friend of mine, um, he's in the 501st in Australia,
Mhm.
and he came over here about 3 years back. We met up, and he came to me,
Right.
and he said, "I've got something for you." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "I've just been over to see a friend of mine who works for Lucas." I said, "Oh, right."
Okay.
And he said, "You know Nick, don't you?" He said, "Nick Joseph." He went, "Yeah, yeah, I know him." I said, "How do you know him?" He said, "Well, I've never met him." This is the guy who works for Lucas. Never met
Yeah.
him, but he said, "I know a great deal about him." Hang on there about it. Anyway, came back about 10 minutes later with this box. He said, "Give him that." And my mate opened it up,
Yeah.
and it was the medal which I gave, or which was given to Solo.
Oh my God.
And I've got that medal here now.
You actually have the medal.
I have actually got the medal that was given
Oh
to
my.
Han Solo, and I had it valued. How much?
Oh, uh, 2 grand.
If I was to sold it at Christie's, I would have got £50,000 for it.
Oh, holy.
I've got a big chin.
Yeah, yeah.
50 grand, I reckon.
Oh my God. That is incredible because that is a piece of cinema history that will
Yeah. So when
remain.
I went to insure it,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
they wrote back to me and said, who said that? I said, well, Christie's.
Yeah.
I mean, can you get this letter from Christie's? Because we can't insure that until you get that letter. So I got a letter from Christie's and sent it to the insurance company. And they said, for goodness sake, never get rid of it.
Yeah.
Every year, that's going to go up in price. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I kept my cap
All right.
and I was sorting through bits and pieces. And my wife said to me, you don't need this stuff anymore, do you? I said, well, I don't need the cap because I never wear a cap. I'll never take it with me anywhere.
Yeah.
I said, but I'll keep the medal. Anyway, I wrote to a company in the US who do a lot of Star Wars auctions.
Yeah.
And they said, yes. She said, well, how do I know it's you? So I said, well, I'll send you some photographs and you can decide yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, they accepted it was me.
Right.
And they said, well, we valued your cap at $2,000. Well, that sounds quite nice.
Yeah.
But the auction won't be going up for 2 weeks' time. It's okay. Anyway, 2 weeks' time, it went up and got 5.5 grand for it.
Wow. Can't say fair
It's
enough, can you?
unbelievable, isn't it? Things that
Yeah.
people buy. But,
That's
oh,
incredible.
yeah. It's just unbelievable, though, what people will buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really is.
I mean,
So there you go.
I'm just looking around. I don't think like
Yeah, I can see you, all the
bought a
bits
fair
and
few things
pieces. You haven't
myself.
filled them up with fuel, have you?
Not
I'm
just
sure.
yet. No.
Yeah.
I try and save that for Christmas time. I mean, that's just incredible. Like those are pieces of cinema history.
Mm,
That's amazing.
yeah.
And in terms of all the conventions you've been to, because you've been to so many, has that experience of attending a convention, has that changed over time?
It does change because of from country to country.
Mm,
Um, I was in, I've been in America a few times,
yeah.
and I did one down in Nashville, in Tennessee, year before last. Now, that was
Mm,
a good one, very good.
fantastic.
And the same year, I went to Australia and did the one in Brisbane.
Nice.
Over 100,000 people.
Whoa. Oh my.
Yeah, they turn up there in their droves in Australia as well,
That's
because they don't
incredible.
get many people from the UK,
Mm,
because it costs a lot of money to bring them
it
over.
just, mm,
And I was fortunate, well, I mean, we've got family over there,
mhm.
and my wife and I were going over for a holiday, so they didn't have to fork out the airfare or the hotel. So that was great. Yeah.
That must just be such a wonderful experience getting to
Oh
go
yeah, yeah.
all
It
over the
is.
world.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter where I go, whether you come back with 20 quid in your pocket or £2,000 in your pocket.
Mm,
You've met some different fans, and the day's gone well. That's
yeah.
that's what it's all about. You meet the fans, you talk to the fans, and sometimes you just can't get rid of them. But well, there you go.
Definitely. That's fantastic. And
Mm.
obviously you've not just appeared in Star Wars, you've appeared in another staple in my life. You've been in Doctor Who and you appeared in
Yes.
in
Yeah.
4 different episodes alongside 3 different doctors. You were in the Leisure Hive with my personal favorite doctor, Tom Baker, in
Oh,
Black Orchid and Terminus with Peter Davison, and of course Mark of Arani with Colin Baker. So
mm,
I'm going to ask you the question that everybody asks as soon as you mention Doctor Who. Do you have a favorite Doctor?
yes. Yeah. Colin Baker.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, I see Colin very often in different
Yeah.
areas that we go to, and we always communicate every time we see each other. If he's sitting down the far end
Yeah.
and I walk in, he'll always see me and shout out, "Oi, yo!" And I don't have to see who it is. I just wave my hand and
I love that. He's such a
yeah,
wonderful man. I've met him a couple of times at different conventions,
yeah,
and he again is someone who goes to so many conventions, and
yes.
you can really tell he's passionate about meeting and talking with the fans, which is wonderful to see.
He's a great guy.
Yeah,
Tom Baker was a lovely man to work with as well. Very, very kind. You know, if you make a mistake of doing it, he
yeah,
used to say, "Don't worry, I make mistakes." You know, that's the sort of thing. You know, it's like going back to Star Wars, Alec Guinness.
yes,
Oh, great guy. He was absolute fantastic. In fact, he was my idol
yeah. I can
ever
imagine.
ever since the first time I saw him in some movie or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
But
my.
no, going back to Doctor Who, had some good times and funny times there.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know if you know, I did Blake Seven as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. Well, and beginning of next month, we've got a big convention coming up in Oxford.
All right.
Yeah, with all the actors who've been in Blake Seven.
Fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Was
See who
that
turns up.
was that experience of like working on a well-established TV series, was that any different from working on the set of a film like Star Wars?
No, not to me really, because you know you meet these same actors in different things, you know, year after year, or you may not see them for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden there you are again. You're just working again because work is work. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any difference. I mean, you know, electrician goes to work and he does a bit of pieces, and his next job's a bit different to what he's done before. So, you know, meeting the same people, but different jobs. That's the thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, everything's just we go in, sit
Yeah.
down, read what you've got to read, say what you've got to say, do the job, and go home. Wait for the check to arrive.
Yeah. Fantastic. And if you had access to the TARDIS, would you want to go forwards in time or would you want to go back in time?
I'd go back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Any particular time period or year?
Um. Yeah. Just to when my daughter was young, because she's a bloody pest at the moment. Keeps saying, "Dad, can you lend me a fiver? Or can you lend me 50 quid?"
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think that's the best possible answer that you could give.
Oh dear.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Oh, and you like we've mentioned a few things that you've worked on now, and of course you worked alongside Roger Moore in The Spy Who Loved Me, which is one of my favorite James Bond films of all time. What was
Well,
that like?
what the spy loved me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good film with Roger. We had a good laugh doing that. Another time, we came running down the stairs and I had
yeah,
to cover him. And we sat behind this barrel. I was in here in the front here, and he was at the back of me,
yes, yeah.
firing away. And these water came down. I thought, oh crikey, the roof must be leaking. Carrying on, a bit more water. I turned around as Roger Moore with his water pistol. Why do people find me with water?
Oh, I mean, it feels like there's a theme to these on-set pranks.
Well, I think it should be not Star Wars, but Waterworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic. And if you could get any gadget out of 007 out of Q's laboratory, what would you want?
I think the girl who was in it.
Fair enough. That's the fair
There's
answer.
nothing better, is there? I don't know.
Oh, fantastic. And I also understand, much like Bond, you're a bit of a man of action yourself. You represented England and Great Britain in athletics.
Mm,
What was that like?
hard work.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
Hard work. you know, when you're training for a marathon and you're running about 100 miles a week to train, and you know, and then the race comes and you can have a rest at the race finish. Then it's nice, but yeah, I did the '86 Commonwealth in
Yeah.
Scotland, a couple of Europeans, a couple of worlds, world long distance, the world half marathon. But yeah, good days, good
Yeah.
days. I mean,
Fantastic.
nowadays I walk and jog and jog, but having the time to do it at the moment, you know.
Yeah. I get
Still,
that.
there you go. It's those were the days, as you
Yeah.
can put it now.
Fantastic. And I also read on your biography that you drove formula cars as well.
Yes, yeah, I did. What was it? Formula Ford, Formula V, Formula Three.
Wow.
As a commercial, I did. I got an interview to go because my agent knew I was racing at the
Yeah.
time. She said, "Go for this job. It's a good job." She said, when I got there, they looked at me and said, "What have you done?" I showed them my pictures.
Hmm.
Oh, and they said, I said, What's it all about?" It's a commercial or two commercials for Shell petrol
Right.
and what was it now? The clothing company, menswear it was. But anyway, I'll think of it in a minute.
Cool.
Anyway, I was supposed to be in Alain Prost,
Right.
and when I got we went to Brands Hatch,
Okay.
got down there, and so I got to make up, got all the wig on, and I thought, crikey, I'm Alan Prest's son, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked out, got down, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and it was Alain Prost coming down. Sorry, not Alain Prost. I just said Alain Prost. It was Ayrton Senna,
Right. Okay.
you know, and we were doing this commercial together.
Oh wow.
What a great guy. He was such a nice man.
Yeah.
Really, really was. And
Fantastic.
there is not a commercial, but somebody's made a documentary of me going into the makeup and
Right.
having all the job done with
Oh
all the
wow.
stuff put on and the wig and everything else. Yeah, it's around somewhere. It's on Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you Google it in, um, what was it now called? I think it was Nick Joseph in the Shell commercial as Alain
Right.
Prost. I think it was that one.
Okay.
So you might be able to see it, you know, do it yourself that way.
Yeah, I'll have a look for it.
But, yeah, no, I've had a good time with that as well. We do some silly things over the years.
Yeah.
You know, like I trained as a football referee.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, because I did a play called The Manageress.
Right.
It was about a lady who took over a football club, and I
Interesting.
did a couple of episodes at the referee in the football. He did a couple of football matches.
Yeah.
Some guys, yeah, and oh, that was good. Money was fair. That
Yeah.
was it. You don't go in it and do it for nothing, do you?
No, well, definitely not. No, if you're good at something, don't do it for free. That's what I've
Yeah,
always been told.
yeah. There's
Absolutely
plenty of
fantastic.
other things that I've done. Loads of other things, possibly things you've never heard of. Secret Army. Um, but that was about the Second World War.
Okay.
It's it's all up on Google anyway. And
Yeah.
I played the tail gunner in a Lancaster bomber,
Oh, wow.
and we actually flew in the Lancaster bomber. Mm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, we did some
Oh
shots
my
in the
gosh.
sky. And there was another one I did is called We'll Meet Again, when it
Yeah.
was the Americans came to England, and I played the waist gunner, as the Americans call it. It was the side gunner in a
Yeah.
B-17 bomber,
Oh, wow.
and we actually flew in that.
Oh my, that must have been an incredible experience going up in
Noise,
planes.
vibration, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But
wow.
I mean, you know, you could be here for 2 days and still talking to you about things I've done.
Yeah.
Um, I
I've
mean,
been so excited to talk to you because you have been in so many things which are huge parts of my life: Star Wars, Doctor Who, James Bond, like, and so many incredible experiences that I was reading about on your
mm,
biography. So, like, when I've been telling my family that we're going to be talking and telling them about you, I've been saying, like, I feel like I could take up an entire day's worth of your time talking with you.
no, no. I mean, going back to cricket. I mean, we did a documentary about the cricket when it first started over in England. It was when the what's it called, the cricket team in the Lords.
Right.
I played the England cricket team back in the 1700s, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was the England cricket captain in that, and well, they dressed me up. Looked a right fairy I did in that as well. There you go. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I mean, things like the bill. I did the bill. You know, you just go from one thing to another.
Fantastic.
Still, there you are. But,
Yeah. And with all of the experiences that you've been through, whether that's from a galaxy far, far away or traveling through time and space, do you have any words of wisdom, anything that you want to pass on to all of your fans?
well, the thing is, the fans have made Star Wars what it is. Without you guys, we would have just been sitting on our fingers again,
Yeah.
waiting for the telephone to ring. But now we virtually every weekend we get a Comic Con or a private signing, as I say. But as I said to you earlier on, I should have been in Hollywood
Mm,
signing that book, but
yeah.
that was the time when they all went on strike.
Right.
So that was the end of that. But other than that, it's thanks to all you guys, all you Star Wars fans. There's nothing else to say, but you made the film. All we did was earn the money. You go and spend your money on our photographs and medals and figures and that. But anyway, the answer to that is thank you. Thank you very much.